Hey beautiful, welcome to Cultivating Inner Beauty, where we're all about loving our healthy selves from hair, skin, and nutrition. And that, my friend, starts from within. So if you're like me, you're probably wondering why your hair has been stuck at this length for a long time, and whatever you do, you're still not growing anywhere. This video is for us. So let's get started. I won't be doing you any justice if I don't talk about this first, and that, my friend, starts with nutrition. So unfortunately, if you have poor nutritional habits, then your hair is going to suffer. And so if you don't have a balanced diet of protein, iron, biotin, zinc, vitamins A, C, D, and E, then your hair is going to be weak and brittle. And one of the most common signs that you know that you're kind of low on one of those sources is your hair will be shedding a lot, and this is a sign that you're low on iron. So make sure you're eating properly. Now, the second thing that could be stunting your hair growth could be hormonal imbalances. So we know about men experiencing baldness, but women not so much. It's actually kind of rare. And what happens is that there's this hormone called DHT, which is actually converted from testosterone, which we as women have a little bit of. It's in our bodies. And so when there's an imbalance going on, what happens with this hormone, it attaches itself to the receptors of our hair follicles. Now, this is a problem because when it attached to the receptors, that actually causes the hair follicles to shrink. So if your hair follicle is like this, then having that DHT attached to it, it'll cause it to shrink up. And when this happens, then that messes with our hair cycle. And when it messes with our hair cycle, that's what causes the balding to happen. And so women with more testosterone in their system, they experience this more. They have an excess of testosterone. And you might see this with if you have PCOS or some other hormonal imbalance condition. Now, you can lower DHT or block it by adding some things to your routine, and one of those things is by using onion juice. I highly recommend it. I do it with my wash days. And so I switch from purple onions to white onions, even though the white onions have more sulfur content in it. But what makes onions so powerful as far as lowering DHT is because of its antioxidant called quercetin, and this helps to lower that DHT hormone from shrinking your hair follicles. Let's move on to number 3, which is stress and anxiety. When you're experiencing chronic stress and an overwhelming feeling of anxiety, what happens is your adrenal glands is now going to produce this hormone called cortisol. Cortisol then is going to signal the rest of your body to respond. This isn't good when it comes to our hair, because with that overwhelming pressure to get your body back to its balanced state, your hair cycle is now confused, and now because it's interrupted by cortisol, it's going to move into that shedding phase out of your whole hair cycle phases. It's going to move into that last phase, which is I think it's called the telogen effluvium. The telogen effluvium. Now, when you're experiencing that type of stress, you may notice a lot of shedding around your temple areas and around your edges. This happens with postpartum shedding in menopause as well. So you just want to look out for those areas. One of the things that helps with reducing stress and anxiety is writing in journals, specifically writing in gratitude journals. I like to do that when I'm spending time with God. And also working out, believe it or not. Working out helps with reducing stress. And just spending time outside. You don't have to do like a long workout or anything, but just walking in nature and taking in fresh breaths of air can help with reducing stress. Now, stress isn't just limited to those areas, but it can also come from our habits in general, which brings me to point number 4, bad habits. Listen, I learned so much about myself being natural. Now, for this one, I'm going to talk about myself. I had a lot of bad habits when it came to my hair. I had a lot of bad habits. Like, let's see. I would overprotect my hair. So I would wear a lot of braids and wigs and not do anything to my hair. Like, I wouldn't moisturize it. I just thought you were supposed to leave it alone and call it a day. And then when I would take those braids out and see my hair would be so dry. It would be so dry. And that was because I wasn't doing anything to keep it up. And I was so focused on keeping the braids nice and neat over taking care of my hair. So I had to get out of that habit. Another habit I had was the type of products that I use. First, I would use every product that someone recommended, and I learned that every product isn't for my hair. And so eventually I narrowed it down to just a few products that I use, and I also use my hair oil that I made myself. And so this helps me with just sealing my ends and everything. So using that has helped me tremendously. And what else? Oh, my styling techniques. So when I wear a wig now, at first when I would wear a wig, and what caused a lot of thinning towards my temples and everything was the way I styled my braids underneath the wig. So at first I would do cornrows. Now this can sometimes cause tension. Sometimes, I guess for some people it doesn't affect them, but for people like me, it affected me. And so I would actually do flat twists. I didn't even do braids. I did flat twists, and eventually it caused a lot of tension towards my edges. So one of the things I learned to do was to change the way I do my twist patterns. And so sometimes I would, sometimes now I flat twist going down this way, or I just make up some other pattern. So yeah, my hair is constantly getting used to different patterns so it won't thin out, and that has helped me a lot. And now I also have a routine that I stick to. So with washing my hair bi-weekly, I'm noticing a big change. And also deep conditioning, that's a game changer. And sticking to those things has helped me a lot. And when it comes to trims, I learned I'm not one of those people that could trim my hair myself. That's one of the things that stunted my growth for the longest, because I would see other natural girls, they would trim their hair themselves and their hair was very long. So I figured that I could trim my hair myself, and I believe that's what also kept me at a certain length, because I wasn't trimming my hair properly. So now I go to a hairstylist and I go to her consistently, and I'm seeing a bigger change with my afro. Now it's actually getting bigger. The time has come where we are now to our last one, and that, my friend, is inheritance. So here's the thing. You're doing everything that you're supposed to do. You have a balanced diet, you're working out, you're doing scalp massages, you're doing everything right. You're even doing the onion juices, and you're still not able to retain your growth. You're not able to get past that plateau. Could it be generational? I'm gonna go to Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 9 and 10, and I'm gonna read it. It says, "You shall not bow down to them or worship them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for the sin of the parents to the 3rd and 4th generation of those who hate me, but showing love to 1,000 generations of those who love me and keep my commandments." Let's talk about it. What if what you're experiencing right now was in your bloodline all along, and it became activated at a certain time, and you have nothing to do with it? But because people in your family years ago disobeyed God, it activated a curse, which then came down to you. That means you have to break that curse. For me, when I started noticing that my hair wasn't responding to the routine that I had for myself, and I was doing everything right, I realized that this was more than just something that I was or wasn't doing. This was something. It says in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms." So once I realized that this was an attack of the enemy, then I started praying and getting to the root of that thing, and now my hair is really starting to flourish for real. Like, it was already like flourishing, but now it's really flourishing because I'm getting to the root of it. So get to the root of what's really stopping your hair growth and start to pray and seek God first. Seek his kingdom first, and everything will flourish. And I also recommend this book, which is Deliverance from Demonic Covenants and Curses by Reverend James Solomon. It's a great read, and he talks about more on generational curses in here. I'll have the link below if you want to purchase it. It's really not that long, just a couple of pages. But yeah, I definitely recommend this. He really gets into the detail of that thing. So I hope you enjoyed this video. These 5 tips were mind-blowing for me. It really helped me to really take care of my hair in a way that no one has told me before. And so I hope this helps you as well. If you want to work one-on-one with me, then you could click the link in my description. But If not, I will talk to you next time in my next video. Until next time, talk to you later, beautiful. Bye.